There is a mistake we keep making as a society, and it's costing people their sanity, their safety, and sometimes their lives. We think that labeling an experience medically excuses us from engaging with it on a human level. Today's video is about that mistake. It's about what happens when someone says, "I hear voices," and we immediately dismiss it as auditory hallucinations without truly listening. When we do that, we ignore the possibility that the person may be describing something real, that they may be a victim of a serious crime. And by responding this way, we lose the opportunity to uncover a truth that could change lives, possibly saving not only theirs, but many others as well. For many people, the voices define them in the eyes of others, not their fear, not their struggle, not their resilience, just a label. Once that label is applied, everything they say afterward is treated as unreliable. But imagine living like this. You wake up with voices. You fall asleep with voices. You never experience silence. You never get privacy, not even inside your own head. And every time you try to explain what that's like, you're told, "That's not really happening." At that point, reality itself becomes hostile. Here's something uncomfortable but essential to understand. When someone believes they are being targeted or abused, responding with total disbelief doesn't calm the situation. It often makes it worse. Why? Because from their point of view, their pain is real, their fear is real, and the damage to their life is real. So when the response they receive is simply, "That's impossible," end of discussion. They don't feel reassured. They don't feel guided back to safety. They feel helpless. Helpless because their suffering is dismissed. Helpless because there is no room left to talk. Helpless because they are left alone with an experience no one is willing to engage with. And when someone feels helpless for long enough, they stop seeking help altogether. Not because they don't need it, but because they no longer believe anyone will listen. Real help does not sound like, "That's nonsense. Stop talking about it. This is all in your head. You're imagining things. You're just sick." Real help sounds like, "I believe you're suffering. Let's find ways to reduce the distress. You are not alone in this." Someone has to investigate it because it can't simply be dismissed as a complete delusion when so many people report the same type of experience, even if the details differ from person to person. This video isn't here to say every belief is true. It's not anti-science. And it's not about pretending there's no risk. It's about this simple truth. You can question the explanation without denying the suffering. If we want people grounded in reality, we must first make reality feel safe to return to. Listening is not weakness. Compassion is not denial. And discrediting someone's experience may do more harm than the voices ever did. And there's one more thing that matters deeply. Speaking up about the abuse itself. Reporting what the voices say, how they behave, and how they affect daily life is important. Not because every explanation is automatically true, but because patterns can only be recognized when experiences are shared. When people stay silent out of fear, shame, or disbelief, nothing can be examined. Nothing can be understood. Nothing can change. But when many individuals describe similar forms of abuse, similar threats, similar language, similar impacts, those accounts deserve careful attention, documentation, and investigation. Coming together is often the only way clarity emerges. Not through isolation, not through dismissal, but through honest reporting, responsible listening, and collective effort to understand what is really happening. Fear of being dismissed or misunderstood often forces people into silence, where pain continues without witnesses or support. Speaking creates the possibility of truth. Thanks for listening.
I look for signs in every crowd, a single voice to cry out loud. But every hand stayed in their coat, and every word caught in their throat. they said, it's in your head, then turn away. But I still fight it every day. No one believed, no one could fear this war. I live this pain.